There we go. Okay. Try that again. I didn't shut the truck off to get the keys. Where are we? There. Okay, there's my sign for my mine. Get that in a little tighter. This is about the center of my mine. The road here goes down to where I want to do a test. I've got a big bench down there that's really rich and that's identified. And that's probably about, I'm not going to exaggerate, but probably about 40 or 45 acres altogether down there. Now it's a continuation, it's a bench and it's a continuation of the Bullion Pit channel. So in this, there's another road here. And I go back about a little over a mile on this road. Takes you out Whitmarsh Creek, and you go about 3/4 of a mile down there. There's a big beaver dam. It's kind of screwed the road up, but there's some deadfall right near there that you could easily pull across and build a bridge. It wouldn't take much, but there's a good road in there. Trapper uses it. He has martin boxes all over the place. He comes down here about every 5 or 6 years. Doesn't chop it out, just comes down, takes a few out, leaves it to replenish. He's got a few different trap lines that he does, plus he does danger trees. Dan, is it got a Ukrainian last name? I can't pronounce it, but anyway, we got a video we should put on of him falling a great big tree that was leaning over our house. He come and did it for me just because we're friends. I got a cabin down here in the wintertime, and if something happened, he could go in there. There's wood and blankets and food, and could sit out a blizzard or get a camera that's army grade, that one that's used by the US military. She's a little steep, that hill. But if you do it just right, you can make it up. We should wish I had a 5.2 tranny like my crane truck has. Anyway, this is where I take my water. Oh, I better go back. I'm going to end the last video right here. This is Whitmarsh Creek. This is where I draw my water. I use an 1.5 inch intake, and then I have a 2-inch outlet because I have lots of 2-inch hose. We don't have a lot of 1.5. But anyway, that's I take my water. It always runs. There's lots of wells going dry this year. I still got lots of water here. But I only, maybe when it's really hot like this, I might run that 1.5 inch pump half throttle all day. But I normally only run the pump for about 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours after lunch. Keeps my pond topped off. If I do any more, the pond gets too full and it's just a pain. And I don't need that much water because I recirculate. And so anyway, my 2-inch line hose comes to here. And then I have a 5-inch irrigation line that goes down. 5 inch is a real oddball. Really hard. You can't find a lot of stuff for a 5-inch line. There's only one kind of hose and it's really expensive. So I got a good deal on it when I was putting it in, and it's a good thing I did because I used all the 5-inch line here, and then I went to 4-inch line, and I have a little bit of 4-inch left over, and then I went to HDPE line. Now HDPE is a nice line, hard line to run, but it looks good and everything, but it's really impractical for what the type of mining I do because, well, this line, all you have to do is come up and drain the water out of it. Disconnect it and drain the water out of it. The HDPE line, when I first got it, I was having troubles and didn't know what was wrong, and it was breaking on me. I'd go to set up the line the next spring, and I'd be cutting new Vitalik coupling ends. And I got a machine to do it, but it was a pain, and then I'd end up having to fit another 6-foot piece in or something like that for the broken pieces. So then I started taking the line apart. Here, this is, if you look, you'll see that it's just disconnected where the water can drain out. Now with a 5-inch line, that's the only hose you can buy. That stuff there, and it used to be a lot longer, and I just have it for the corner. And every once in a while, I have to cut a chunk of it out to patch a line. So from here down, I'm 4-inch irrigation line. I bucked off most of the ends on it, and I hooked them together with lay flat hose. 4-inch lay flat hose fits right over top of it. It's just slick, and then use a hose clamp. Never have any problem. Brakes are still dragging. Might have to take this thing to my mechanic and get him to have a look at it. It doesn't get driven much. I bet you in the 13, 14 years that I've owned it, I bet you I haven't put much over 200 kilometers on it. It just comes up. I drove it from Williams Lake out here. That was 80 kilometers. Well, I might have 300 kilometers on it. And most of the time it stays down here, but I don't like to leave it down here if I'm not mining. Too many assholes out. pardon my language, I didn't mean to say that because I make this site for my kids. But right down there is the Canal River. We're going along here. I'll take a little video on the way out too, so you can see what it's like. It's awful steep down there. But the old river channel keeps going up top there. And up there, there's huge big rocks. So this is all got to be mined. And if you look, it's all red mineralized with the big rocks. So there's a good river channel going through here. And it's hard to say how deep it will be. Down below, some places I found it that when it was similar to this, it would be 12 feet or more of pay dirt. Oh, that was nice. And then you get down to clay. I think here you're going to get down to rock. You're going to hit bedrock. That's looking down into Canal Forks River Valley. Okay, we'll do a quick little one here, and then it's down to the mine. I'm going to shut it off here. Oh no, I guess I can do longer than this. I just started at that gate. If anyone doesn't know, that's a Martin box. It's just sitting on its side. It should be sitting up, and he uses humane traps in them and kills them right away. And we got marten all over the place down here. They're kind of cool. They're friendly. Anyway, to about that cedar tree and over here to this fir, maybe a little bit further back, is where my new mining area ends. So 65 or 60 meters wide, which is about 130 some odd feet here, and then it goes down on an angle this way, down that way, and to my wash pond, to where I stopped mining on the bench down below. So this is coming up a little bit, coming uphill. Now I tested in here when we first came here. Oh boy, that was really good in there. But it was just, at the time I didn't have the equipment. I think there was only had the backhoe and a little trauma wash pond set up down there. And I could only run until my pond got muddied up and I couldn't run anymore. And then that wasn't very long. And but I did. This is what really caught me this year, and a couple other test places I had down below, which really got me where I wanted to start mining and thinking about more equipment. So this is the HDPE line. I've still got lots of extra fittings and stuff because I took a pile of it out and put in 4-inch irrigation line. But those fittings can cost as much as $50 a piece. And that's not including the rubber gasket. That's just for the clamp itself. And then that pipe is well over $10 a foot, HDPE 4-inch. And but I bought all. There was some came with the mine, and I bought a whole bunch at Ritchie Brothers auction at 2 different times. Some of it was 40 feet long. I had to cut it in half. Wish I could have brought it down at 40, but it wouldn't fit on my truck. It's only got an 18-foot deck, so I could go 22 feet. Not this truck, my crane truck. I did that one day. Boy, it was nice. Front clip, I was always going to put it on my other truck, and then I hooked something one day. Oh well. I've had it licensed for the road before. Doesn't need an inspection. So there, we're just chasing this down. The river's just over the edge there. So I think it comes up over the bank about here, something like this, and it goes in this direction about 65 meters. I haven't got it ribboned off, but we have marked it off with a GPS. And I did it, luckily I did it before my knee went with another guy who was working here. So we'll go down to the mine, and then I'll end this video and I'll start part 3. Okay. So the line is buried down here. The guy I bought the claim off of, he had some HDPE line and he had it buried here. And then he had something further up, but he had no it's expensive, and he put a lot of money into this, him and his wife, and we just kind of took over their dream. They never really did a lot of mining down here. They just got set up to do it and then got too old. Luckily, when we came out here, we were still young. I was in my, well, when we bought this claim, I think I was 50. Less than that. 48? Yeah. 48 or 47 years old. So I was young. It was easy to go. Now I love mining, but I'd love to sell it and let somebody else carry on the dream. Because there's gold everywhere, all through here. Now I'm not coming up this far, but this ground, even if there's no big rocks in it, it's still producing a yard every 150, an ounce of gold every 150 yards, even in just the stuff that isn't even producing really good. All the red mineralized glacial till all has to be washed. So I'm back in there a ways, 150 yards, something like that. My water line comes down here. And then all of this still, I did a couple of tests down below down here, and we hit some really good gold, but it was easier to mine over here because it was all flat and level, and we were doing really good over there. But I just never bothered with this, and then I'm just chasing the channel up, and I mean, by the time I finish chasing that channel up and doing the bench further up the river, I don't know how much I'll pull out of there, but there's a hell of a pile of gold. Just a small little bench area that I have in there. A guy mined back in about 87 or something. Because this ground's been held for a long, long time. Since the 40s, more or less continually. So this guy in 87 went down in there and he pulled out 2,600 ounces of gold in just one little part of it that he had a lease from a guy to mine, but only for 3 months. And he had to go fast, and so all the tailings that's all my ground now, and all the tailings that he left needs to all be washed again. But that's a guy from Alberta. The guy I bought the mine off of, he's from Williams Lake. A really nice couple, Jack and June Headland. So this was the sluice box he had. And where that road was with the other excavator there, I sold that excavator and swore out. This was up there. And that trailer's 53 feet, so that sluice box is 53 feet long. And then inside of it is another trough that hooked onto the top here and went to the wash plant, which made this sluice box setup over 100 feet long. Oh man. And it was all getting ready to fall over the bank up top there. Mine over here is he had a pond there, and all his tailings were coming back down and into the pond. And then he was mining over here, just one little area with a single axle dump truck, and hauling all his material up here, up the hill. And I thought, I'm not going to do that. And I just figured out a way to mine down here. Now that's my outhouse. There was an old outhouse there when we first came here, so I just kind of fixed it up there. And then there's a big steel tank there. I want to take it up to the house because that's a good one to hide in case there was a fire. And you were in the event of a fire, I would probably evacuate down here. I'd probably come down here because I got water, I got everything down here. Plus I got a great big huge area here, and I would feel safe down here. I got a little fire station with a pump and tanks and everything, and I just fill them up and bring my airstream down here. I got a camp down here and everything already, and just laid it out down here. I got internet, I got everything down here, even the telephone, all on satellite, so I wouldn't be out of communication. I'm gonna shut the truck off over here. There's the satellite dish. Picture's still dragging a bit. I don't know what the hell. Okay, there's my rock truck. Oh, I love this cat truck. 4 front tires are brand new, yet one of them took 2 years. It's been sitting here for 2 years. I started it last year a couple of times. I haven't started it yet this year. That tire went almost flat. It isn't flat. So I brought my big compressor down. I'll go around all the tires and make sure they're all at, I think it's 85. I can't remember. It's written on the tires. I get them all to that here today. And this one here is my tool crib. Got a workbench in there. Keep all kinds of spare parts in there. I bought that 4-inch Honda pump brand new. That was $4,000. I used it in the beginning, but it didn't put out enough water. I showed you my big pump up at the top, that German rump, that's good. And this is, those are the 2 camps I have. The trailer has 2 beds in it, and a wood stove and a propane fridge, and that works perfect, and a propane stove. So that's where my guys stay. And they cook all their meals. They buy their own food and stuff. I got lots of 4-inch suction hose. I got a good deal on a whole pile of fittings and stuff one day. So I went and bought them all, and I've been replacing a lot of stuff. Eventually, from my pump to my plant will all be that stuff. I got it from a guy who had helicopters and for firefighting, but he had stopped. So there was tons and tons of stuff I'll never use. Big 4-way valves and stuff like that. I should probably try and sell it. Probably somebody looking for it. But this one, I can see the mice got into a little bit because it's open in the back and they climb up. They can't get into the other one. But I leave the doors open all summer because they do sweat a little bit in the winter. And then I keep all my... I eventually was going to turn this into a gold cleanup. I got the wood now. I can build a wall right here and a door. Build a patio and some stairs coming up. And then have a little bit of an office in here. I got a desk to come down here, and then possibly have a gold cleaning room right in the front of it. And maybe even in the back you can put in another living quarters and cut that down and have that as a window and put a door below it. You could even put windows in the side if you want. But I cut some 1x4s. I'm taking these 6x6s that I bought. They're treated. They cost me too much money. I'm taking them out, and I cut some wood down here with my chainsaw mill. I might have to cut a few more pieces. And but I want to take all of this treated wood that I bought home and just use some old scrap wood from down here. Cut it with the chainsaw. It works perfect. I got lots of these fittings, metallic fittings. There's the device for cutting the hose to put in the new ones. The rubber gasket goes with it. It's really easy. The first time I did it, I don't know how long it took. It took me forever to hook up took me 4 or 5 hours to do my first metallic coupling because I didn't even have a clue how it worked. And then by the time I had done 10 of them, I was down to, like 10, 15 minutes. And before I had done, the last time me and Wendy came down, I had to replace something where a tree fell, and I had to do a little bit of work. And I did 5 fittings in 15 minutes, and 2 of them I had to cut too. So I got it down to a pretty good size. It only takes a minute now to put them on, especially with an electric impact. Now I'm just walking down here. I'm going to walk back and start another video, but I'm just going to take you down to where my mining area starts. Stopped recording there for a bit. I don't know what happened, and I'm not sure where it stopped recording, but this is just going to be a short little episode anyway. This is my pond. I let it all fill up at the end of last year, so if animals can come down and they can walk in it and they can get a drink of water, and there's nothing in there. I only use water and gravity. I don't use anything at all other than what Mother Nature provides to separate the gold from the gravel. So my water line comes down and it goes in here. But anyway, this is where my new area starts. Right here. And it's 60 feet over that way to here. And then I go up 500 meters to where I showed you the top part there. Okay. Going to end this video now and start a new one.